This insanity bordered conditions, in fact, have had a reverse effect on me. They did not, as I mentioned, what state have expected is going to take place, it didn't. It never happened. It had exactly the opposite effect of that. This gladiator school, which I went through, in fact, made me even stronger. Instead of breaking me up, instead of destroying me completely, it has created me stronger. Stronger, more powerful, and I have learned, in fact, everything possible human can ever develop into in order to survive in this communist incubators of evil. The communist incubators of evil, which are no different, they do not differ from United States of America or Germany or Soviet Union. As one violence takes place in one country, it is expected of same to take place in another country. As these governments cooperate with one another, the order comes, if it happened over there, it must happen over here, because we don't want to look different. In fact, we cannot afford ourselves to look different. So we have to immediately drive people insane and have them commit crimes like that too. This is the reality, this is the truth behind the criminal intentions of the state or governments which govern to us nowadays. The human rights organizations are very well aware of it. However, they are corrupted institutions and are deliberately failing to act. Another issue for you, which shouldn't be that way, but given the circumstances which I have mentioned, it is something for you to think about. Give serious consideration to it. Do you still wonder why some parents demand their kids to be educated at home, when taking in consideration facts as not only have taken in my place? Can you now relate to yourself with parents that want to educate kids at homes? Well, the cases that are taking place now are even worse. These kids are actually left almost without any education. The education, as I mentioned earlier, is stagnating. So now, do parents have really reasons to be worried about? A good parent will have the reason to be worried about his kid, always. A bad parent will not have the reason to worry about, because it's everything easy for him. In respect to that statement about how I was told at age 16 that enough violence was already inflicted on me, upon which I would not be even able to carry on throughout my life. In respect to that type of psychological terroristic behavior of government against me as an individual, I want to remind each and every one of you who are actually living on what is in America known as a rat race, or paycheck to paycheck, that this is so-called psychosis neurosis instrument utilized in order to keep a victim in uncertainty. That means not knowing what tomorrow is going to happen. In my case, I didn't know that something like this is possible, folks, because there was not a slightest violence really inside of me that would call upon anything in the future which would have to do with committing anything against anybody. So I, as a person, I cannot believe that, and you and everybody else, you could never believe that something, that someone could have such a criminal intention against you, that would be possible. And that element, it's called element of surprise, is actually the ultimate tool that states anticipates in each and every one of us as a victims. And it's nothing else than state of vegetation. You're only hovering, vegetating, and state pretty much have you like this for the throat. They can do with you whatever they want to do. It's nothing else but act of terrorism. That is really known as a terror. Terrorizing somebody means exactly this. This is terror. So I don't want to hear another one about the terrorists, Al-Qaeda, this and that. I want people to start condemning the societies in which we live, under the system the way we are treated, because they are nothing else but terror. What I am actually demanding is dignity, pride, and honor. Dignity, pride, and honor. Or I should say law and order. Real law and real order. No anarchy. End with the anarchy. This is basically what I am demanding. And this is what each and every one of you should demand. We don't need thousands of human rights organizations. There is no need for that. What we truly need is law and order. Not thousands of organizations of different kind of governments and all kinds of lies going around when severe crimes are taking place against us. That much in respect to that. Now we're going to go forward, and I want to talk to you about my life, how it went after I have graduated. As you know, first from what was mechanic, industrial maintenance mechanic, and then industrial maintenance engineering technician. 13 years of education. Basically went in vain for nothing. There was no job, there was no opportunity available out there for me afterwards, according to my education or in my profession. But instead I have completed also what was a military service, during which the same situation pretty much have taken place. Maybe what was interesting, this beside violence, which was pretty much, folks, nothing new. The incidents such as having a fellow soldier pointing gun at me and shooting empty bullets in me, per order of higher ranking officers when military exercises have taken place, the ostracizing, the isolation. I was isolated, pushed away from groups, humiliated, scorned, and all in front of other groups, people. The people who we have just had war against, since I was the first generation of military incumbents in independent Republic of Slovenia, which have just broken away from what was Yugoslavia. In 91, I served the military in 91. They still have those Yugoslavs in our military now, humiliating us. Today, as we look what have taken place, and what have taken place was nothing according to what you, communists, Slavs, have anticipated, hopefully would take place, or inciting violence in me, which would apologize your crimes against me as a human. Nothing of that have ever come out. Nothing of that have ever happened. And now you have no excuse, according to my testament, which I'm testifying here. Anybody can see me talking and revealing the truth behind your criminal intentions against my people, against my nation, against me, what have taken place. None of that. It was all in vain. It was all for nothing. Now, folks, you understand how much more important it is to refrain yourself from what state wanted you to be, and instead be yourself and not what state wants you to be.